Have you ever had that moment where you're standing in the bathroom or you're lying in bed, you're wide awake, it's 2 a.m. and your brain is literally screaming, is this my life now? Because you're not just dealing with a physical symptom, a physical situation, you're also dealing with the loss of an outlet. Thing that used to keep you steady, running, lifting, CrossFit, high rocks, that sweaty, gritty, reliable place where you could simply breathe again and be yourself. And then prolapse shows up, maybe after having your baby, maybe after pushing hard for years, and suddenly you're questioning absolutely everything. Can I train again? Am I going to make this worse? Is surgery the only option for me? And why does nobody seem to understand how big this feels? Let me say this clearly. If you're an athletic woman with prolapse who loves to train and wants a non-surgery led path back to training with confidence, you are not crazy for wanting that, and you are not asking for too much. By the end of our time together, you're going to have a really simple 3-part mind-body plan. What to do, what to focus on, and how to start rebuilding trust with your body again. Before we get into the 3-part plan, I want to offer you something a little more personal. If you need someone to sit down with you and map out what training with confidence looks like for you and your body, I want to let you know that every single week I open up several free one-to-one discovery calls. On that call, we'll go through what you've experienced, what you've tried so far, and what your path back to training with confidence looks like. You'll leave with a clear next step, whether that's working together or simply knowing what to focus on next. And that's a free discovery call, a one-to-one call, which you can grab in the description below, or comment discovery call and I'll send you the link. Okay, so let's get into this 3-part mind-body plan. And remember that you're a runner, you're a lifter, you like high rocks, CrossFit. You are smart, capable, motivated. You're just exhausted from not having a clear plan. The very first thing I want you to know is that your body is not betraying you. Your body is communicating with you. And when you're an athlete, that can be really infuriating because you're used to your body being the one thing you can rely on. So when it feels off, it hits your confidence in a really deep place, right? And that's why this cannot be a random list of tips. You need a framework. Okay, step number 1, reset your emotional set point, because your body trains your nervous system too. Okay, so let's pause on this. Most athletic women I work with, I speak to, I was also this way, have a set point of push. They're wired for intensity. They're wired for really high standards. They're wired to push through, overcome discomfort. And that's not a character flaw. That makes you good at what you do. But here's the problem. If your baseline nervous system is constantly revved up, fight or flight, perfectionism, pushing through, not good enough, your pelvic floor doesn't exist in a vacuum. When there's urgency, pressure, your breathing changes, tense, tight rib cage, your jaw tenses, your rib cage stiffens, your diaphragm stops moving like it should. And when your diaphragm isn't moving well, your pelvic floor doesn't respond well. So the emotional set point, step 1, it's not some fluffy concept, it's physiology. It's pressure and it's load management inside the body. So step 1 is not be calm all the time. Unrealistic. Step 1 is notice what your body thinks is normal. What is the baseline? Do you feel safe and calm in your body when you're not training? Because a lot of women with prolapse are grieving and they don't even call it grief. They call it, I just need to get back to normal. But underneath that is, I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't know who I even am anymore. So here's a very, very, very simple starting point. Before you train, before you rehab, before you do anything actually, ask yourself, what state am I in right now? Am I bracing? Am I rushing? Am I panicking? Am I trying to fix myself from fear? Because if you try to heal from fear, you'll keep training your system to associate your body with danger. And that erodes confidence. And what we want is a new baseline, a new set point of my body is safe enough for me to work with it. So if I think about my own journey, I had to get really real with myself. Before I healed my 3 prolapses, I used to drive to the gym and I would tell myself, you know, you're confident, your body knows what to do, you've got this, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as I started feeling into my body and feeling my set point, feeling my baseline, I felt insecure. I felt vulnerable. I felt fearful. And that tense feeling showed up in my rib cage. I was bearing down, upper ab gripping without realizing. Every single time I tried to do wobbles in CrossFit, I could feel tension afterwards. I would feel air bubbles, and as if I needed to pee, like that kind of UTI feeling. Everything felt irritated and agitated, and it was because I was bracing, clenching, tightening because I felt insecure. That was my baseline, and I was trying my best to tell myself I wasn't feeling that way, but the reality was, I was. Often when I would get under the bar to do a simple squat, as soon as I started to add more load, same thing would happen. I'd start to feel insecure. And when I got really real with myself and got inside my body and felt my body, I realized I was terrified. I was terrified I was going to push my organs out. And I was terrified I was going to make things worse and set myself back. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is me. If you are resonating and it feels supportive to you to book a one-to-one discovery call with me, grab that link in the description or type discovery call into the comments and I'll send you the link and we can talk through what you've been experiencing, what you've tried, what's making you nervous about getting back to training the way you want to train, and I'll help you leave with a clear next step plan, whether that's working with us or knowing what to do next. And remember, grab that link below in the description or type discovery call into the comments below. Okay, step number 2 is learning how to feel emotions without turning them into tension. Now, this is the step that most athletic women skip because you've been taught directly or indirectly that emotions are something you push down, ignore, conquer, or sweat out. And if you've used training or exercise as your emotional regulation tool, especially if there's trauma in your history, then when prolapse takes training away, it can feel like someone took away your coping mechanism. So what happens? The emotion doesn't just disappear, unfortunately. It goes somewhere. And then it turns into tension, into holding, into bracing, into clenching, into, I didn't even realize I'm gripping my core all day long. Let me say that again. A lot of women are actually working their core, their abs, their inner abs, 24/7 without realizing, not as a workout, but as a nervous system pattern. So step number 2 is all about building emotional capacity. Not drama, like you might be thinking, capacity. The ability to fully feel something like anger, grief, fear, resentment, shame, without immediately tightening your body to survive it. And this is where women often tell me, I feel ridiculous. I don't even have time for this. I don't even know what I feel. And that's totally normal. And the reaction I had, and most women have. Because if you're used to functioning at a very high level, you've probably been rewarded from childhood for pushing through. But healing is really different. Healing asks you to stay present. So here's a really practical way to start. Once a day, 2 minutes, set a timer. Place one hand on your ribs, one hand on your belly. Take a breath. And ask yourself, which emotion is most active within me today? And don't overthink it. And if the answer is, I don't know, then ask, is it fear? I don't think so. Okay, does it feel more like anger? Yeah, actually, I can feel a bit of tension in my jaw, but I want to say frustration, but maybe it's anger. Is it overwhelmed? Do you feel like spinning all the plates? Rushing, not enough time. Overwhelmed. Just ask yourself, pick one. And when you find it, here's the real key. Don't try to fix it. Feel it, name it. Breathe with it. Feel it and breathe with it. Close your eyes if you want to. Feel it. Let it expand in your body. It won't hurt you. It's there anyway, so you may as well feel it. Feel it. Let it expand a little bit. Breathe through it. Breathe through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Let your body learn, I can feel this emotion, and at the same time, I can stay safe. And when you stop turning emotion into tension, over time, your body stops bracing so much. And when the body stops bracing so much, symptoms often change. Confidence changes. Because confidence is not a mindset hack, right? I thought it was. It's a feeling. It's a lived experience of safety. One of the things I love more than anything is when a brand new member client in our program shares that they use the anger release technique that we have in our program, that they felt anger in their body for the first time, and then they let us know. And afterwards, I felt really calm and I didn't have any symptoms. So how is it that I let myself feel the emotion? Wow, I felt calmer afterwards, and then I was symptom free for a few hours. It's so powerful. You can't think your way through emotions. Like I said, confidence isn't a mindset hack. It's a lived experience of safety. Okay, so step 3 is recognizing how emotions show up in your body so that you can train again with confidence. Now we bring it all together, because step 3 is where athletes, women who love to train, love to live. This is data. This is pattern recognition. This is, okay, how do I know when I'm making progress? Instead of seeing prolapse as this random thing that is happening to you, I want you to start seeing your symptoms as feedback, not punishment, feedback. So here's what I'd love to invite you to pay attention to. When do your symptoms feel louder? Is it after poor sleep? Is it after a stressful conversation? Is it after scrolling and comparing your postpartum body to somebody else's? Is it after you rush a workout and hold your breath during reps? Or is it after you go from 0 to 100 in rage? It's okay, because you're desperate to feel like yourself again. Because for runners and lifters, one of the biggest hidden triggers is training like you used to with a body that needs a new strategy. Not a weaker strategy, a different one for right now. So your job in step 3 is to create a really cool, simple body map. And you're basically tracking 3 things. Number 1, what's happening emotionally. Number 2, what's happening physically. Breath, bracing, posture, bowel habits, fatigue. And number 3, what's happening symptom-wise. Pressure, heaviness, bulging sensation, confidence level. And I really want you to hear this next part with so much love and compassion for yourself. If you've had trauma, a certain type of trauma that I can't say because YouTube won't allow me to, I have had that kind of trauma. Your pelvic region may have learned to protect you through guarding. As a child, I always walked with my feet turned in. And, I was born in 1975, so this would have been late 70s, early 80s. A doctor told my mum to scream at me, helpful, every single time my toes and my knees and my pelvis turned in. And if you think about it, what was my body naturally doing? My body was naturally protecting that area for me as a child. My body and my nervous system was holding that trauma in a protective, tension, guarding situation. Through holding, through numbness, through shutting down sensation, through disconnecting. So I want you to know from my own lived experience that when you start reconnecting, it can feel scary. If you feel like you're waking something up, and that's why we go slowly. And that's why we pair training with safety cues. That's why we don't chase just symptom reduction. We chase trust. We chase safety. Because the goal isn't just less pressure. The goal is I know what my body needs and I can respond without panic. And that's what gets you back to running, and that's what gets you back to lifting. Back to being in your sport community, maybe your running club, your CrossFit box, your high rocks gym, your amazing group of lifters, without that constant background fear of, oh, what if I make this worse? So here's what I want you to do next time you train. Before you start, check your set point. Remember, close your eyes if you want to. It's easier in the beginning to go into your body. What am I feeling? If you don't know, ask yourself, is it fear? Is it worry? Is it anger? Your body will tell you. And trust yourself to know. Are you in push mode or present mode? Then when you're training, look for your tells. Are you holding your breath? Ugh. Are you tensing your jaw? Often anger. Are you bracing your abdomen like, oh, someone's about to punch you? Are you holding your abdominals in because you don't think your abs look like they should? I used to do that. After you train, instead of judging yourself, assess with a compassionate heart. Be kind to yourself. You're a work in progress. We all are. Maybe ask yourself, how did I feel? What did I learn? What would I maybe change next time? Without any judgment, perfectionism, or being hard on yourself. This is learning to feel confidence, not perfection, confidence. I remember in 2018 when I received my heel diagnosis, and for some crazy reason, I decided to compete in a strongwoman competition. And I remember each time I showed up for training, even though I'd been given my healing diagnosis, I felt stress. Worried about, what if all of a sudden it reverses? What if the prolapse has come back? What if these weights are too crazy heavy? Who am I to even take this on? But what I did was every single training session, I just took it one step at a time. I allowed myself to feel that insecurity in the body, feel that fear in the body, and then really notice, oh wow, I've got some protective tension going on right now in my pelvic floor. Let me take a couple of breaths with that. And I really started to change that pattern each training session, and then got to the actual competition 1 year later and was able to just freely enjoy that competition, lift those heavy loads, pull that truck, do all those really crazy things, and just enjoy it like those days before prolapse even happened. So fun. Now I want to close this in a really grounded way, because I know what it's like to want somebody to just tell you everything's going to be okay. And while I can't make promises for everyone on the internet, I can tell you this: women in our program have healed. Many women. Women improve, women adapt. And you're not disqualified from being an athlete because you have a prolapse. You may need a new relationship with your body. You may need a new framework. You might even need a new skill, a new way of training that involves your nervous system, your emotional world. Not as an afterthought, but as part of the plan. Take a breath. Feel into your body. If this video gave you clarity, imagine how it feels when you're guided step by step with support. And if you need somebody to sit down with you and help you map out what training with confidence again looks like for you and your body, every single week I open up a limited number of spots for a free one-to-one discovery call, which will leave you with a clear next step, whether that's working with us or simply knowing what to focus on next. And you can grab that link if it feels supportive to book a call in the description below, or comment discovery call in the comments below, and we'll send you that link. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it felt clear. I hope it felt supportive, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in my next video.